Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of Indie String. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and to new viewers and returning viewers alike. And I hope that you grab your knitting and sit down with me and have a great time. And I am your host, Kay Johnston, but I go by Indie String on Ravelry. And so, as usual, let's just jump in and look at what I have been working on this week. So the first thing is my sweater, and I'm going to apologize. I got to kind of lean forward a little bit. Oh, get it. But I've been working on the Iridum sweater by Lisa, I think it's Much, but we've shown this before. And I'm actually knitting this for a family member on my husband's side, and I'm knitting it out of Squish Silky Sock, which is a 50% wool, 50% silk blend, and it was a club colorway. So what we looked at last time when I showed this, I was pulling it out of the deep recesses of my, sleeping bin basically. It was hibernating and I wasn't working on it, but I was very close to being done. So the body was done, which includes this nice turtleneck. And I have been working on the arm. And I'm to the cuff. I only have 1 more inch on the cuff, so I'm not going to be able to knit anymore tonight, but I should finish this up for tomorrow, and I will start the other sleeve and knit down. They're not full-length sleeve, yay, which means that they'll get done way sooner, and surprisingly, I have loved working on this. I don't really love sleeves, but I think knowing that I'm so close to getting something done for someone else that will make them very happy and they'll really enjoy has kind of been pushing me forward. My whole weirdness with knit with love. So knitting it with love for sure, and I'm almost done and I'm very, very excited. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why I picked the yarn that I picked for this pattern. So I picked a 50% silk and wool blend because I wanted there to be a lot of drape with this sweater. It has a turtleneck, and I didn't want the turtleneck to stand. In the picture of the pattern, you can see, sorry for the glare there, but you can see how the cowl has a nice drape to it, and I wanted to capture that, as well as I wanted it to be a little bit luxurious, or at least different from something that you can buy at a store or that you can regularly get. There's a lot to that, and that's a lot of thought I put in my knitting. I don't want anyone else to have it. I don't want you to be able to find it anywhere else, and I want it to be something special. So hopefully she will agree that it's special and she'll wear it and love it. And I'm excited. So maybe next week I'll get done with my sweater. I have 3 skeins of this, and I'll actually give you a close-up of the skein. It's going to look, sorry, it's very, very messy because I've been working with it. I don't know if it's going to focus. It's not. I apologize. A little bit there, I think. Just blue-green. Great. I'll have an extra skein, and I'll have an extra from this skein, so I might be able to have enough to do a shawl or something for someone else. That's really not my color, so another good thing, knitting out of stash and getting rid of something that's not my color. Brought to you by Root Beer again. Okay, so my next project is my small project. As you know, I do 2 projects, 1 large and 1 small. And what am I working on? So hoping to have this done this week, but honestly, I was having such a good time knitting on the sleeves of the sweater that I didn't work on this very much. Can't apologize either. Kind of got to go with what you want to work on, but it is, if I can get it flipped around, my Vine Leaves cowl, and I'm sorry, I'll try to stretch this out. I have it on a littler needle. And it's looking a little kind of worse for wear here because it's been scrunched up. But I am through 2/3 of the pattern and only have 1/3 left to go. And let's show you that pattern one more time just to remind you of it. It is by Melissa LaBear, who also goes by Knitting School Dropout. But that's it. So I should be able to get this done this week. I am knitting this out of Becoming Art in her Agave base, which that's pretty accurate of the colors right there. And it's a 70% merino, 20% cashmere. Oh, sorry. See, that's what happens when you have little kids and dogs. And nylon. And it's really nice. It's got wonderful drape from the cashmere and squishiness. And I'm going to have enough left over probably to do an accessory. I don't know if I'm going to keep this yet or not. I really like it. I don't know. I say I probably will keep it, but you know, maybe I can convince myself to give it to someone else. We'll see. I don't hold my breath on these kind of things. I just go where it takes me. So then what's up next? If I'm almost done knitting that sweater, I'm done with my lemongrass as we showed last week, although I have finishing to do on it. And I'm almost done with that cowl. I should be primed to cast on at least one new thing. And half the fun is figuring out what you want to cast on. At least I think so. So I'm going to knit something out of a ebook I've had for quite a while since it came out. So I think a year. But it's out of the ebook Breezy Blues by Cecily Glowik MacDonald, excuse me. And I'm going to be knitting drifting. And I'll look at that a little bit. Hold on, let me get to my iPad reset on me. Dang technology. But this is 4 different views of the pattern, and that's really a nice, just like a nice crop sweater. I'm not the smallest girl in the world, but I would really encourage people to try something new. Oh goodness, like 3 years tried on a crop sweater, and while I don't wear it all the time, I wear it quite a bit in the summer with dresses. And it cuts me just right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit this pattern, which is also a cropped sweater, excuse me. And I'm going to knit it to wear with dresses. And I'm uber excited. This is the whole reason why I bought this ebook 2 years ago. And then I knit one sweater out of it. And then this was supposed to be my next one. It kind of fell off the wagon, but spring's here. I swear summer is coming eventually for all of us, and then I'm going to have the sweater to wear. So what am I going to knit it out of? I'm going to knit it out of, oh, I wonder, I'm trying to see if her Little Red Bicycle. I was in her club. This is a club colorway, and you know what? I don't know if she's dyeing anymore. There hasn't been anything in her shop for quite a while, I would say 6 months, and her board's been pretty quiet. So you can find her stuff on D-Stashes, and it is very nice. This is like a reddy orange, and it's called Traveling the Spice Road, I believe, or just Spice Road. And it's, again, to blend, a 50% merino, 50% silk, but it's a sport. And I have 2 of them, and I'm hoping that it'll be enough for that little crop sweater. And I will swatch this week. I will have to alternate because, as you can see, it's not as severe in person, but there is, this one is lighter than this one. And so I'll have to, it has more orange in it. And this one has more red. So I'll just alternate skeins while I knit that up, and hopefully I'll get that going. Super excited. Ah! Stuff out of stash too. It's a very loud color, and it's super bright, which is, you know, I have some stuff like that, and I can wear it, and I will wear it all the time. But when I first opened that package, when I got that from my yarn club, I had reservations of if I could ever use it. And while I really like a lot of her style, her yarn club just wasn't for me. It was a lot of stuff that I would open it up and thought, maybe I could. And although I am getting to it, I haven't been in it for a few years. And it's just stuff that really, for me, needs the right pattern or the right balance, where I need to at least have an idea of where I'm going to knit it. You know, it's not neutral. It's definitely a statement. So hopefully by next week, I at least have that swatched and blacked out so I know what's going on. Sorry, I leaned forward a little bit I may do that a few times during this episode because my computer is a little farther away. We're trying a little bit of a different setup, and hopefully it'll work out better. Okay, so finish objects. I'm a loser. I totally failed this week. I don't have any. But next week, we'll try. And then so it goes right on to spinning. So I'm going to lift up my basket here. It's a little bit easier for me to grab stuff, and I'm not, you know, looking like a pretzel all the time and leaning over. So I finished something in spinning. Woohoo! I was half done last week, so I guess it's only like, because I had half done last week. So a half finished object, but here are the skeins together. This was squish in a blend. Can you imagine that? An Alpaca Merino blend 50-50. It goes from a DK to a worsted, and it's 440 yards. And it's really nice. I like it a lot. They came out very matching. Yay! I don't know what I'm going to knit with it. It's just a really nice. The merino was nice, and the alpaca is super soft. And I'm excited. I'm excited that I got alpaca, a new blend underneath my belt. I think every single time I do something new, I feel more like a spinner, like a little validated, vindicated, I guess. I don't know. But as with knitting, I mean, knitting, I was in a room by myself, looking, concentrating over a book, trying to figure out how to knit. And then spinning, I mean, it's a little bit better. I go online and look at videos and try other things, but it is a lot of trial basis for me and trying to figure out how things work for me. And so every single time I do something new and it turns out all right, I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped, you know. Anything, I always think anything, and like our community, not that there isn't skill and there isn't difficulty, but you can pretty much, if you commit yourself, you can do it. You can knit, you can crochet, you can spin, you could weave, and it's one of the great things about our craft is that you can feel empowered, and I can look at something and say, I love that, I want to make it, and I can go do it. And so, but so every single time I'm like, I made this. And it's just brought me closer to the whole product, you know. So now when I spin yarn and then I knit it, I'm getting closer and closer to having something that's personally unique. Even if someone had this colorway and they spun it, they could have spun it differently than me. They could have had, you know, a different idea. They could have done 3 plies instead of 2 plies, and they could have made a whole host of different choices that made the end yarn completely different. And so I'm the only one that's going to have this because I spun it. How cool is that? Totally awesome. I'm sorry. I'm kind of geeking out. But I love it. Okay, and then what am I working on? Since that got off my wheel, it means that my wheel was excuse me, since that got off my wheel, it means that my wheel was open. And so, kind of fib last week, I showed you some stuff that I was thinking about doing, but I actually decided to start my Into the World Fiber Club from last month. So here it is. It's kind of washing it out. They are more, these are muted colors, but they're not that washed out. This almost looks like peach, and it is pink. And this is like a dusky blue, and this down here is gray. So it's spinning up nice and fine. See if I can get a little bit up and show you. So nice. I don't know if it'll, there's a lot going on, but you can kind of get an idea. That will spin up to a 3-ply fingering if I stay consistent. And so far I have about 1.75 ounces on this, and it's been really, really fun to spin. I love all different colors, so although pastels aren't what I normally wear or gravitate towards, I think it's really fun to see how they will spin and knit. And I have a little girl, so a 4-year-old. We'll see. I may get it done. She may tell me, ew, it's disgusting, and throw it at me. Never know. 4-year-olds are fickle. But, ooh, that is a blend again. Whew. A 75% Pole Earth and 25% Silk. And it was Into the World, which is a great, but it's a club colorway. So it's, I don't know if she releases those. I haven't run up on that. But most clubs are a club colorway for at least a 6-month period. Some are 12, but then you can request them to be dyed. And those do, if you put a shout out on her Rav board and her In Search Of board, pretty regularly people will exchange. And I know this wasn't a lot of people's favorite color, so if you love it, could be yours. So let's move on to our next segment, which is enabling. So I always think, man, I don't get a lot. And last week, I didn't have anything. So I guess I made up for it this week. Okay. So the first thing I got was, surprisingly, Into the World. It's just really simple. This is her coordinate for what I'm spinning here. So it doesn't look like it coordinates very well, but it's basically the darker pink. The darker pink isn't as prominent in the braid, in the multicolored braid, but it will help take that light. It's almost a peachy pink, and I don't really like peach, and it will make it, in retrospect, look more pink, because what I'm going to do is I have 2 4-ounce bumps of that multicolored, and I'm going to spin those, and I'm going to spin this, and then I'm going to 3-ply it together, and this will help neutral out that peachy. It'll make it look more on the pink leaning tone. So I'm very excited. As I talked about last week, I was afraid that this would be more peach, and it's not at all. It's like a dusty rose, and it's beautiful. And it's called Tyler. I don't know if she has any left in her shop. You can go see. Her shop update was last week. Okay, and then as we talked about last week, I swear, I gotta stop getting bags. I have a lot of them. It's not like I need them, but I really love them. It's like my new addiction. New, old, continuing forever. But this is Fat Squirrel Speaks. She had an update about almost 2 weeks ago now. And she only updates bi-monthly. No. Twice a month. Is it twice a month? But she updates one large shop update at the beginning of the month with yarn and bags, and then she'll just have a project bag update later in the month. But she had a large update with fiber and yarn. But I just got the bag. So this is a fun fabric, and if you love this fabric and you need to have it, I think she is completely sold out of these bags, but I know Cecily, which makes box bags and other bags, also carries this fabric. And it's just so springy and light and wonderful to me. And then the inside is daisies. Isn't that fun? And then, as I talked about before, she always includes a satchel of lavender. And this time she made it in a coordinating color of the interior of the fabric, which is just so cute. So cute. And I love it. I love it. And I especially love the handle. So, that's all done. We got that in the mail. Then I got a club shipment from Squish, which is, wait, a blend. I swear, it's like the blend show here. I'm not knitting with 100% anything. 100% cotton, 100% wool, nothing. Everything's a blend with something else. So this is a 50% wool, 50% silk blend. And everything has either silk or cashmere in it. Swear goodness gracious, Kayla. Anyways, isn't it great? I got 2 of these in the mail. And it is called Time Waits for No One. So that'll be really nice spun up. I'm excited about it. Woohoo! And then this week on Saturday, my husband told me that in the morning that I could go have fun for an hour or 2 and then come back and get working on the week. You know, the weekends, all you do is make time, do the laundry, and get stuff ready for the rest of the week. I swear, at least that's all I do. So he gave me a pass, and I totally took it. And I went to, my local yarn store, and I bought 2 items. My first item is Bar Lotion. So look at that there. Sorry for that noise. But this is a new product for me. I've never tried it. This scent, and they have different color containers, and each different color is a scent. It's called Sweet Honey. And I use lotion bars quite a bit. I have exceptionally dry skin, and the older I get, the drier my skin is becoming. And so I have to apply something every evening. But so I wanted to show you on the inside. Isn't that cute? It's a little bee. I'm very excited about it. So there is that. It's so cute. And it smells so good. So hopefully that'll work. We'll see. It's a new brand to me. And then the second thing that I got is a needle gauge. So it is really awesome. So I'll be honest with you. I have the same metal needle gauge that I have had for, I don't know, 6, 7 years. And I have 2 of them. They're out of those like sample packs that you get at Joann's. The Clover, I think. And while they work fabulous and everything, I have been telling myself for probably the last year or 2 that if I don't lose it, I can get one that I really love. And I love this one. It's awesome. It's a leaf. It's happy. It's a great color, and I don't know, I just like it. So that'll go in my Notions pouch. So I'm really excited about that as well. So I wait to use anything until I show you guys on the podcast. So it's almost like Christmas tonight because I'll be able to open everything up, be able to put it away, or be able to start using it. So that's exciting. Sorry for that. I got to turn the page in my notes. Okay, so the last section is my rants and raves. So what did I do this week? Other than work like a demon, which is why that cowl didn't get done and the sweater arm isn't done. I did work several nights from home this week. But busy season's just getting started and it's going well, so I can't really complain too much. We went to the movies this weekend. We went to the, is it Cronies? Whatever. The new DreamWorks animation movie that's out was super cute. I did not have high hopes from the commercials, to be honest, but I really did like it a lot. My husband loved it as well. I really would recommend it. I have a 4-year-old and it was a little too old for her. I would say around 6. But she still did enjoy it. Unfortunately, on the way into the movie, there is an arcade. And the whole time we sat through the movie, she's about 30 minutes into it, and she looks at me, she goes, I want to go play a game. Oh, dang arcade. So we have to like say, we have to get through the movie and then, play the arcade. In retrospect, it would have been way cheaper just to go to the arcade. Or she would have had just as much fun if I would have spent the admission money and just let her use it at the arcade. So after the movie, we went to the arcade thinking, this is going to be snap, man. We went through a movie, we had popcorn, it was awesome. Now we're going to play some video games and we're going to go home. So we get into the arcade and it's pretty desolate because we're in between movies, and so, it's pretty quiet. The first 3 machines we tried all died. Put in money into a driving machine, and it completely rebooted. You could see the Windows icon. It was powering down. Ate our money. So then we went to the air hockey table, which is $1 for air hockey. Rip-off. Total rip-off in my opinion, but they wanted to play. So we put $1 in, ate our money. So at this point, the manager was coming because I was like, come on, you just ripped me off $1.50, and these don't work. It's not like it's like a big arcade. There's only maybe 12 games. I mean, it's in a movie theater for... So, anyways, and then we tried a 3rd game and it died, and then they got it working for us. And I was just like, oh, we gotta go. So it did work out well. We did play games after that point, but it was a rough start. And you know how that goes. Sometimes the start is the cadence for the rest of the time. But it was really fun. I would recommend you go to the movies. I love going to the movies. I love movies in general. I don't watch that much television, like at all. I really only watch movies. And so it's my favorite activity besides knitting and spinning and crafting is going to the movies. Nothing fun happened. It was a busy week full of meetings. But what we did get done is we booked our trip home. So as you guys know, or I briefly mentioned, I live in Oregon and I'm from Michigan. And so what we do on an annual basis in the summer is we send my daughter home. And I know that sounds really odd, but I send my daughter home with my husband, and then she stays with my parents and his parents if they would like to see her, and my sister's house and her aunts, uncles, everyone's around there. She stays with them for an extended period of time, and it's over a month, and then I come and get her. I really had reservations when I started doing this 2 years ago. And you're going to think, man, I can't believe you let your kid go when she's so young. But family first, you know. And I wanted my kid to know her family and love her family like I love them. And I didn't want, because I moved across the country, for her to not have that relationship. And so I made a really hard choice. And I had a load of people telling me not to do it, that it would be bad for my kid, and on and on and on. And, you know, we really stuck with it. And to be honest, it's one of the best decisions that we've ever made, ever, other than having the kid. There's no place my daughter would rather be on the planet than home, which is, for us, home is Michigan. She talks about it all the time, asks when we can go. Today she was crying, saying, I want my grandma, I want to go home. And when she talks about home, she means Michigan. And so we booked our tickets to go home to Michigan, and she's going home in about 2 months, and I'm really looking forward to everyone being able to spend time with her and be with her, and her to chill out and freak out and have the summer of dreams, man. There's nothing better than being able to just chill out all summer. She is not going to have preschool. She's not going to have work. She's not going to have anything but to play and have fun, and to really invest in her cousins so they all know who each other are and have great memories about being together. And so I am uber excited it's done. It's very difficult to plan out this trip, and my in-laws helped me a great deal by helping me organize it. And so it's done, it's booked, it's done. Ta-da! It's done. I could say it's done 5 more times, but I don't really think it would sink in. So it's coming home. Yay! And so that'll be great. And to wrap it up, we'll just talk about a few things, what I am wearing. And I talked really fast this time. It's only 28 minutes in. Whew. Sorry. This is my albatross that we talked about. It's out of Hazelnuts Decay in the Violetta colorway. The pattern is by Jane Richmond, and it's in her book Island. The sweater I'm wearing, which is black and you can't see any detail on it, which is, you know, it's black yarn. I'll never probably knit with it again. But it is from the Breezy collection from Cecily MacDonald. And the yarn is Becoming Arts. Sorry. Blue Moon in the medium weight of Socks That Rock in the Raven series. I don't remember the exact colorway in that series, but that series basically is, it does have slight variation in the yarn. It's got like like a mango color, I guess, and it's almost a Violetta colorway, really dulled down, like over blacked, being dyed over by black yarn. I swear I stumble on my words at night. Ooh, I'm sorry, but it's great. The only thing about this pattern, which I can pull up real quick for you, is that I wish it was longer. This took me 3 skeins and I am considered a large. And oh, it's not in the Breezy Blues colorway. I know it's her pattern. I am sorry. I don't have it. I don't want to look for it on camera, but I will put it right here so you can see it. And so the only thing that I wish in a lot of her patterns that I've knit with, which is why I haven't knit some of her patterns in a while, is that they're short. I do like my sweaters long because, number one, I want to wear them to work. I need a long sweater to wear to work. I have to file a lot and I have to bend over a lot. And two, I'm a mom. I got to bend over to pick up stuff off the floor and to pick up my kid. And I don't care if you're 16 or you're 60. Butt crack looks good on no one. No one. Absolutely not. And so I like longer sweaters. I wear, a belt and everything. I'm totally conservative, but in no time and no place on the planet do I ever want my butt crack in public. So unfortunately, a lot of her sweaters are very short for me. And unless I wear a long tank top underneath them or something under them, which I typically do anyways, they look weird or they show my butt crack. I mean, this one, I have a long tank top under it that's black and it's like 3.5 inches of tank top. Well, it doesn't really look right. It looks okay, but I would prefer if I would have had a few more inches. And that's my fault for not reading the pattern. So don't blame the designer. It's just I needed to realize that and read her schematics and better to realize the length of the majority of her sweaters, at least like, she has some that are meant to be long, but the average sweater that she designs is shorter. And so I needed to be able to know that and read that schematic because I didn't have enough yarn. I made this as long as humanly possible without running out. I made it to the pattern first time, I ripped it out, and then I re-knit it until I ran out of yarn on the bottom half after I did my sleeves, just to make it as long as possible, and it's still not long enough for me. And so when I knit her patterns, I just know that I need extra yarn to make it longer if it's cropped, which typically they are. But that's all about knowing your body and your personal style. So I know I would encourage you, if you knit, write stuff down or go to your closet. A ton of people have said this. Pull out your favorite shirt or your sweater and measure. And a lot of things that I do is I'll take a measuring tape or I'll take something and say, if it's an inch longer, would it kill me? I don't want something that is so long that makes me look frumpy, but a lot of times, at least, and I have a pretty normal proportion size. I don't have a very long torso, but I always think, I never gave myself the extra half an inch or an extra inch and thought, man, I really regret it. Very often I don't regret it at all. I really like it and I appreciate it. I like things that are longer. And for someone who's not a teeny bopper, who can't wear stuff that's short, and someone that's not, honestly, and I'm sorry this offends anyone retired, there's not a lot of stuff in between for a conservative gal such as myself. I mean, I don't want something that's sparkly and has a huge logo across my chest or something across my butt. I just want some blue jeans and something pretty normal and classic on a daily basis. And so because of that, I knit my sweaters longer. And I knit most of my shawls bigger and most of my hats and gloves are spot on, and I don't knit socks. But because I'm bigger, cowls and scarves need to be a little bit bigger to look proportionate on me and look correct, in my personal opinion. And now I've ranted about sweaters and proportion size for 10 minutes. So we'll move on from there because I'm sure that's not what you want to hear. On Jackie the Mannequin today is a pattern by Alana Dacos, and it's the cedar leaf shawl, I believe. And this is the original pattern. She just released a really great book and it's been on tons of podcasts where she basically redid this to be bigger, deeper, and and the widest part's not very wide. I can take it off of the mannequin to show you this. There's a few things that made mine even smaller than hers. Is I knit this out of, guess what? A blend. I swear. It's the name of the show, The Blend. And it's silk and wool. And the dyer is a local dyer, and it's a lovely color, and I really do like it. I didn't compensate for my change in yarn selection enough to make it as wide as I normally would. So I really don't wear this as a shawl at all. I wear this as a scarf, and I can't get it to lay like this on me, but it's great when you have an immovable object. You can get it to lay any way you want, but it's a beautiful pattern. We'll take it off of her real quickly, and I'll show you. So the way that this was knit, and it does have some variation. Let me see. You can see that a little bit. It's not quite that bright. It's more of a subdued color. It's more, it looked pretty orangey, hot orange. It's like a rust with green. But the way that this is knit is you knit this entire top section here, okay? And then this border is an applied on border of a leaf. Let me see if I can get a good picture for you of the leaf section. There we go. And I do wear this, not a lot, but I do wear it, and when I wear it, I really do love it. The yarn is good, the silk wool blend is nice, and it was a good choice for this pattern. But you can see is that it is not deep. I mean, to me, what is that, a hand span? It's a little bit more than a hand span. So it's like that deep. And I would have liked probably it to be at least 2 hand spans for the way that I wear most of my shawls. So live and learn. I might knit it again. We'll see. I don't really love knitting stuff twice. I typically don't. So we'll see about that. But it is great. I usually wear it like, I'll show you how I wear it. So I usually just go like this and whip it through. And that's how I wear it, almost always. So, sorry, my computer's right over there, and so I'm looking at it to make sure that I don't look funky dunky, and then I'll look a-okay. But anyways, it's lovely, and I would knit it again. It was a good pattern. I haven't compared the pattern, this pattern to her new pattern. Her new pattern is much deeper. It is a classic deep shawl, and I believe it's out of worsted, so it's a heavier weight as well. I believe the one she knit, when she knit this one, it was either out of a sport or a DK. So not only did she size it up, but she did a heavier weight. And so that makes a significant difference in the size. I find it hard to believe that I'll knit that one. If I did knit it again, I would probably give it away because I don't want 2 of the same thing. That's not my bag. That's not my style. So that's about it. Hopefully next week we'll have some finished objects for you guys. I'm super excited about that, and we'll be trucking on at least a swatch and a new sweater. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want or need. Hopefully in the next week or 2 we'll start a RAV group, and I would hope that you would all come over and join me. But you know, please feel free below to leave some comments. Tell me how you think that it's going and how you feel that the podcast looks. If there's anything you like, dislike. Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Is it too bright, or do I need more light? Just let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate so we can make this as best as it can be. As always, I hope you have a wonderful week and that you go forward and you knit with some love.